Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the BG Show. Today, I want to talk about the original Mad Max movie starring Mel Gibson, which I watched. I wanted to watch the original Mad Max, then Fury Road, then go see Furiosa so I can do a real review. So let me just get right into it. Official spoiler warning. If you have not seen the original movie, I suggest watching it. I watched it on Peacock. I think it's a good movie. An interesting movie, given all the years later. But nonetheless, here's my spoiler review. That is your official spoiler warning. Okay, so right off the bat, my biggest takeaway from this movie, of course, is the ending. I literally did the Leo meme. I was pointing at the screen when he kind of gave the guy the saw and he lit the car on fire. And I was like, oh my God, that's where Saw came from. I had no idea that Saw, the original concept from Saw, came from Mad Max. It's as clear as day. Mel Gibson ties this guy to a car, gives him a saw, and he says, it'll take you 10 minutes to cut through the steel, but only take you 5 minutes to cut through your bone. And it was really, really one of like the best movie experiences I've had in a while. Where I'm like, holy shit, that's where one of my favorite things are. Like Saw is one of my favorite movies, and that comes from Saw. So I thought that was really, really cool. Kind of, you saw him kind of turn insane, kind of turn into Mad Max. You start to understand it. But I guess taking it back, this movie really depends on if you appreciate older movies. I do appreciate them. You might get taken out right away by the lack of special effects. I think it's hilarious. I think, if you've only seen Fury Road, obviously it looks way different. This entire movie is just on a highway, but it's 1978, so instead of having like CGI, a guy will get into a car accident and you'll just see the stuntman go flying. It's absolutely hilarious. Um, I think really, really good action scenes. Mel Gibson is very young in this movie. I think he's like 22, 23 in this movie. Um, but a very good movie. I thought it was entertaining. A very gruesome movie, a very gruesome ending where Mel Gibson's wife and kid get killed by the bikers, which I wasn't expecting at all. I guess I should have. But yeah, just a very gnarly movie. Another thing that kind of stuck out, and when you watch this movie, you see 1978 and you start thinking about Star Wars and how much better the special effects are in Star Wars, and you start to realize, like, oh my God, this is why Star Wars was such a big deal, because you watch Mad Max, and although the effects were good, they're not even close to as good as Star Wars, and you start to, I almost was like, how is this movie made after Star Wars? It's so much worse, especially taking place on Earth. It just is not, even though it's a different, genre, just a totally different thing. Um, so yeah, I definitely would recommend watching this movie. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite movies, but I would describe it as a gnarly movie. Definitely of its time. I like getting the full scope of actors' career, so I think it was good to watch. Kind of Mel Gibson's early work. I got to watch a lot of his. I still got a lot of his other movies to do. Um, and yeah, I don't have too much to say to break down other than I thought it was technically made well for its time. Um, Definitely got me into the universe. Definitely a very, very different type of movie. I don't think I've ever seen a movie like this before. But that's my quick review of the original Mad Max. I highly recommend watching it. I'm going to get to Fury Road next. Thanks, guys, for watching. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.